everyone's. I am here for Basketball Wives Season 8, Episode 4. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you a family member, you one of my peoples, welcome back. Now, y'all, I just hope this whole Thomas and Byron's biological stuff ends on this episode. Because we only 2 episodes in on this, and I'm already tired of it because it seemed like at one point Kirsten making it seem like it's some deep dark secret that nobody knew about, not even Thomas. But then at other points, it's known, everybody knows about it. They know the biological father. And I think last week, Bonnie Blue showed a picture of Thomas with his biological father on Instagram, further proving that people knew that he wasn't really Byron's biological son, but she's still going through all these theatrics, y'all. It was a lot. So after having her Maury moment and rushing off to the back, Kirsten is on the phone with Thomas saying how she wants to beat OG and Cece up. Now, you probably could take Cece, but OG, no, broke finger and all, OG would have snapped you like a twig. I'm just going to say that. You may have been angry enough to want to fight her, but beat her up, that's something totally different. Cece saying how OJ amplified the situation and used that as a weapon against Kirsten, and she's in her confessionals talking about she doesn't like the way OG brought up the situation and the way she handled it and this, that, and the third. It was like, I guess it was, I'm telling my homegirl something and now you didn't use that to hurt somebody else, and now I'm looking bad because I told you, even though this ain't really a secret for real type of situation. But OG is the only one that had her back. Like, OG and her seem like they good friends. Like, off the show, when there's no camera involved, these two talk and she vents. And I think that the thing is, she was venting her frustrations and how things went totally left with her and Cece, just to show her the crowd, thinking that OG was a friend, not knowing that OG being mad at Kirsten because something Kirsten did to her was going to use this to try to hurt her. So now everybody's looking at OG like, you don't do that. You don't bring up family's issues and stuff like that. But I was like, Kirsten did the same thing last season when she made it seem like Byron was out here just neglecting the baby, didn't want to see the baby, didn't want to have nothing to do with the baby. But we're going to get to that in a little bit later on. So I was like, that was family problems. That was family issues. So how's it different? You saying this as opposed to me bringing up something that people already know about. This is no deep, dark secret kind of situation. Now, Shani talking about she ready to move because somebody tried to break in her house a few months ago, and as recent, several of the neighbors' house has been broken into. And I was like, well, of course they breaking into your house. You were outside with a camera crew looking dead at your house. And y'all know how people get when they get on the internet and get to investigating and seeing where that house is located so they can be driving by and seeing what's going on at your house. But yeah, okay, just show the inside of your house. Don't even show the background because somebody around and had a drone going around in the whole entire Los Angeles area trying to find out where you live at. Stick to just strictly showing the inside of your house, and if need be, get a prop house to where it make it seem like you pulled up to this certain location even though you don't live there. But she ready to get up at that house. The kids are scared. 2 of the kids, they off living by themselves. So it's her and the younger kids. She a single mom and she can't be having nobody breaking in your house. I was like, get you a good security. Live in one of them houses to where like the gates up here in your house is way far back. Even though, somebody try to jump the gate, they can trip some kind of silent alarm. Something can go off, some type of situation like that. And get that done. So Cece goes to tell Byron what went down at, Evelyn's event, how OG bringing up Byron not being Thomas' son. And he says he may have not been the one that planted the seed, but no, Thomas is always going to be his son. That's regardless. He ain't tripping about that. But, okay, where am I at? I didn't lost track of where I was at. Okay. And she's saying how Shiny got mad. She's saying how Shiny got mad at me because I relayed the information. He's like, I don't see what the problem is. Basically, he knows I'm not his biological father. I know I'm not his biological father. The family knows. He knows his biological father. People know this is not a deep, dark secret that no one knows about. Kirsten, she's over there talking to Thomas, talking about how OG brought up the situation and how she went off and everything, but she was like, even though I know this isn't a deep dark secret, I still went off. I was like, the way you went off is like OG was telling some information that no one knew about. Like Byron had nobody, Thomas didn't know. That only Byron and Thomas's mama knew this, and he messed around and told Cece, and Cece told OG, and now the world knows. That she was like, even though this isn't a deep dark secret, I went off from this, that, and the third. He was like, that's, he's like, he's not ashamed that, Byron is his biological father, but he kind of feels dismissed, and he's upset with Byron because, like, why are you letting all this mess go along? Like, he's saying we had no issue before CC, or CC is the main issue, but he's not really saying it. He's saying it without saying it, if that makes sense. But, like, he mad at Byron, like, why is all this coming up? Like, why? I mean, I know you're not my daddy, but I love you like you are. You raised me, took care of me. But, like, why is all this going on? He feels dismissed about the whole situation. Now, Malaysia and Kristen, they got to, catch London up to speed on what OG's saying about, Byron not really being Thomas's father. And London, she going off, she crying, and she feels that they are always coming for Kristen by way of them. Now, Malaysia and Kristen, they're crying all over again. I don't know, like, am I, like, I don't be fazed by something like that? Like, maybe because stuff like this don't happen in my family, so I never had, the opportunity to be all hurt because of what's going on with a few of my cousins or a relative or something like that. But I was like, why y'all crying? I mean, this is well-known information. I guess it's the fact that you were trying to hurt Kristen, but what's his name? What's his name? Thomas kind of got hit in the crossfire, and why would you do that? That's my brother, all this type of situation. But Malaysia says she needs, she has her cousin looking bad out in these streets, and what is if Cece's real motives and all that kind of stuff. Like, Malaysia, she ain't got nothing to do with try to keep her family together. That is all she has been doing. Keeping her family together. Keeping whatever their family name is intact. They ain't looking crazy out here in these streets. So, y'all, I am really tired of when people walk up on the scene and just start eating snacks and it's right out there in the open. Because Shawnee and Evelyn, they go to see Phoebe at the studio and they're like, ooh, there goes snacks. And just start eating the snacks that's just out in the open. Like, first of all, you're getting this what looks like trail mix out of this bowl, meaning somebody had to dig their hands in there before you got there. Ain't no telling these people wash their hands. It's just food just out in the open and y'all just eating it. Like, that never did. I never understand why people do that. Another thing, I never know what season it is on this show because people be wearing furs. Another person over here, you got on a full, almost look like bathing suit. You got on a jogging suit. You got on a dress. So I don't know what season they in because everybody's wearing a different season. So, Phoebe, she going on and on talking about somehow she admires Shawnee and Evelyn because they didn't sit on their tail waiting for a man to give them the things that they want out here in life. I'm like, we only know Shawnee and Evelyn because of the men that they was with. Had Shawnee not married Shaq, but we know who Shawnee is. Had Evelyn not got whatever that first dude is, then got with Ocho Cinco, then got with that new dude, whatever his name is, Carl, would we know who Evelyn was? They became who they are because of the men they were with. So I don't know what you're talking about over here. But Shawnee was like, yeah, I became a boss after life. Not after life, but after my marriage with Shaq. I was all happy with being a wife and a mother. Just being basically a trophy wife. Showing up at events, smiling and putting on a dress. I did not become a boss until after I divorced Shaq, and I will never depend on another person taking care of me. So I'm just sitting there like, so you don't get alimony or child support? You don't get that? If you self-made? Okay. So Phoebe, she got an issue with OG because OG asked, does she have a gag order? Does your ex have you under a gag order? I was like, sometimes they don't want you out here putting business out here on the street and they want you to keep everything quiet of what was going on in your relationship. I guess OG was being nosy, but now she's side-eyeing OG. And later on the show, when she meets up with Evelyn and Kirsten, she talking about some OG. We're talking about some of my kids. When Kwame gives you a kids, if you can't have kids, then come to me with that. Talking about do I have a gag order? I'm a boss out here. But I was like, but you was in the studio saying you was broke. Are you broke or are you a boss? I just need to know. Could somebody clarify that for me? So, Tammy, she wants to sit the ladies down to hash things out because she got the information that OG was out here spreading people's business, and it seemed like everybody was ganging up on OG when it seemed like Cece was the mastermind behind things, and she felt that Jackie should have had OG's back. But then when she meet up with OG, then again, was like, it wasn't really like that. We was just wondering, you can't be out here putting people's info and their business out here on the street like that. So now Tammy was like feeling a different way. So like, we need to all come together and tackle what's going on. I was like, I love how you ain't showed up to nobody's event, but you trying to get these girls together. But anyways, okay, where am I at? Okay. OG says that she has no issue with Kirsten, but let's not forget how you said something about me and Kwame before I brought up your issue. Had you not brought that up and been disrespectful, I wouldn't have brought that up about Thomas not being Byron's son. They both apologized. Okay, we're going to get over that. Malay just said she thought OG was a problem, but it turns out that Cece is the one that's been feeding you this information. Tammy goes on to talk about some. It's one thing to be throwing shade, but it's another thing to be out here, telling deep, dark family secrets. And she's like, it's not a deep, dark family secret. The one and only time this was brought up, Byron was sitting right there next to us. It's not a deep, dark family secret. What's her name? Krista going on about it. I've been in this family for 10 years and we have never had issues like that. And the only time that we've had an argument, you were been the center of the focus of the attention. Cece, you the problem with the family, this, that, and the third. You've been involved with all the arguments we got going on. She's like, you know what? I really don't care. I don't care if y'all like me or not, if y'all show up or not. I'm more concerned about how Byron feels if y'all there or not. But as far as me, y'all can get these deuces and I can be gone. Cece, she just totally just over with this whole y'all ganging up on me, but then 1 minute you talking about you don't want to be at my wedding, but now you talking about how you gonna feel if none of his kids is at the wedding? How do you expect my husband to show up to a wedding where his wife was blatantly hasn't been invited to? But I was like, Kirsten, you said that you didn't want to go to the wedding after you said that you said you didn't want to go to the wedding, that she could walk down the aisle by herself. But now you talking about how is my husband going to feel when his wife has not been invited? I'm like, girl, do you want to go or not? Make up your mind. Because I'm confused and I'm tired of hearing about this whole situation. It's like, you talking about something you didn't want to go, but how is Thomas going to feel when his wife is not invited? But I'm like, girl, we ain't got along since last season, since you kicked me up under the bus and told them, hit it, run her over. That's when the whole situation stopped. You and Cece, from what we've seen, were cool. Until Evelyn and Jennifer made that statement, and then you laughed. And then when you took it to Cece, and Cece didn't handle it the way you wanted to, and then you kind of like flipped it like, no, I told you it was a joke when you didn't tell her it was a joke. And now you're making Cece looking crazy, so you don't want to be looking crazy like Cece, so you hopped on, Cece, she my best good girl. We go way back like Forrest and Bubba, 2 peas in the pod, all that, to jumping on, I want to be over here with the cool kids, and I'm going to put something next to Cece every chance I get to make her look crazy out here, because I know she has trouble defending herself and saying how she really feels type of situation. But it's like, Chad, I was just over it. Now, lastly, Malaysia, since she ain't got nothing to do with trying to keep her family together, she got to get to the bottom of it. So she got to go talk to Byron. And she tells him this is what went down at the event. And he was like, he said it came up to dinner. He and Cece and OG and Kwame, they were out to dinner and it came up. It ain't like I told OG, go ahead and just go spread this news to the world. It wasn't like that. I've been Thomas's father since he was 1.5 years old. He's my son. He's always going to be my son. this ain't got nothing to do with this. Do I think Cece, she had to play the hand of this? Yeah, I do. He ain't saying that Cece is innocent on this. Like, she had her hand of this. I do. And she was like, well, we just want the family to be back together. He was like, what about what she said about the grandbaby? How, I'm not there for the grandbaby and all this, that, and the third. She's like, well, she meant that you're not as involved. And I was like, no, don't try to cover up for her now. No, she made it seem like he chucked the grandbaby to deuce. That's what makes it seem like you don't come to see come to see my child. We live down the street, portraying it like he won't have nothing to do with the baby. And he let her know, no, I've called, I've texted. And every time I call and or text, the baby sleep. She fussy right now. She just went down to sleep. They not answer my calls. And after a while, it's like, I'm not going to keep on running into this wall. Obviously, y'all don't want me to see the baby. You ain't even brought the baby down to see me. If y'all feel that you don't want me at the house, you ain't brought the baby to me. I didn't call multiple times. Text multiple times talking about something. I want to see my grandbaby. Either I'm getting ignored or I'm getting excuse after excuse after excuse. And Malaysia's looking like, well, I didn't know that. They just made it seem like you wasn't trying to see the baby at all. So you got to get both sides of the story, not just listening to one. So that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day. Free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a new video, you can go ahead and click on it and watch it. Hit like and all that good stuff. If you're returning, you a family member, you one of my peoples, welcome back. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.